Rain hammered the windshield like 1,000 tiny accusations, turning the empty highway into a blurred watercolor of regret. Justin gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles whitened, his heart pounding not from the storm but from the voicemail he'd just deleted. Another lie to his best friend. Another night alone in a city that chewed up dreams and spat out hollow men. When the tire blew with a scream of rubber against asphalt, it felt like the universe's cruel punchline, stranding him on the shoulder of I-95 just outside Philly, where the neon glow of distant billboards mocked his isolation. He slammed the hood of his beat-up Civic, cursing under his breath as water soaked through his thin jacket. The phone in his pocket buzzed. Brandon, his buddy Alex's dad, calling back after Justin's frantic text. "Hey, kid." Brandon's voice rumbled over the line, steady as the bass in an old Springsteen track, cutting through the static like a lifeline. "I'm 10 minutes out. Sit tight. I've got tools and a story that'll make this rain seem like a blessing." Justin slumped against the car, the cold metal biting into his back, and for the first time that night, he let out a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. Brandon pulled up in his silver Ford F-150, headlights slicing through the downpour like beacons from some forgotten harbor. The man who stepped out was built like the Pennsylvania coal country he hailed from, broad shoulders under a faded Eagles jacket, salt and pepper hair cropped close, and eyes the color of worn denim, crinkled at the corners from years of laughing through loss. "Jesus, Justin, you look like a drowned rat," Brandon said, clapping him on the shoulder with a grin that didn't quite reach those eyes. He popped the trunk without another word, hauling out a jack and spare like it was just another Tuesday fix-it. As they worked side by side, the rain easing to a drizzle, Brandon filled the silence with easy talk about the Eagles' slim playoff chances, the best cheesesteak spot off the turnpike, anything to chase away the shadows clinging to Justin's silence. By the time the tire was swapped, Justin's shivers had nothing to do with the wet. "Thanks, man," he muttered, avoiding Brandon's gaze. "Alex is lucky to have you around." "Wish I had," he trailed off, the words sticking like gravel in his throat. Brandon paused, wiping grease from his hands on a rag, his expression softening in the cab's dome light. "Everyone's got their lonely roads, kid. Doesn't make you less for walking him." He hesitated, then added, "Come on, let's get you home. Or, hell, my place is closer. Dry clothes, hot coffee." "Alex is crashing at his girlfriend's anyway." Justin nodded, too drained to argue, and climbed into the passenger seat. The truck smelled of pine air freshener and faint cigar smoke, a comforting mix that wrapped around him like an old quilt. As they drove through the slick streets of South Philly row houses, Brandon's radio hummed low with Tom Petty's "Learning to Fly," and Justin felt the first crack in the armor he'd built around his heart, the one that kept his secrets buried deep, away from prying eyes and small-town judgments. They pulled up to Brandon's modest brick townhouse on a quiet block lined with sycamores shedding their autumn leaves. Inside, it was warm chaos. Stacks of law books on the coffee table from his days as a public defender, framed photos of Alex as a gap-toothed kid grinning at Phillies games, and a kitchen that smelled of simmering chili left over from dinner. Brandon tossed Justin a towel and a set of sweats that hung loose on his slimmer frame. "Showers down the hall. Make yourself at home." The hot water stung at first, washing away the grime but not the ache. Justin stared at his reflection in the steamed mirror. 23, fresh out of community college with a graphic design gig that paid the rent but starved the soul. Back in Lancaster, His family had never quite known what to do with the sensitive son who sketched sunsets instead of hunting deer. Coming out in whispers to friends who'd faded like old Polaroids had left him adrift. Dating apps a parade of ghosts that vanished at dawn. And Alex was the one constant, oblivious to the way Justin's gaze sometimes lingered too long on the man who'd raised him. Dressed in Brandon's clothes, which carried the faint scent of sandalwood soap, Justin emerged to find 2 mugs steaming on the counter. Brandon leaned against the fridge, nursing his own. His flannel shirt rolled to the elbows, revealing forearms etched with faint scars from bar fights and broken bottles in his wilder youth. "Feeling human again?" he asked, sliding a stool out. "Yeah. More than I have in weeks." Justin sipped the coffee, black, strong, just right, and the words tumbled out before he could stop them. "It's stupid, really. Flat tire on a shit night. But it felt like, I don't know, like everything's just spinning out." Brandon's eyes met his, steady and searching. "Not stupid. Life's got a way of flattening us when we're already low. Lost my wife to cancer 5 years back." Alex was 16, acting out like a storm cloud. Nights like that, I'd sit on the porch with a beer, wondering if I'd ever stop feeling like half a man. He chuckled softly, but it was laced with gravel. Then I'd remember her laugh, and it'd pull me through. "What's got you spinning, Justin?" The question hung there, heavy as the rain pattering the window. Justin traced the mug's rim, heart hammering. "Family stuff. Friends who don't get it. Feeling like I'm screaming into a void sometimes." He didn't say the rest. How the void echoed with unspoken longings. How watching Brandon move through the world with quiet strength stirred something dangerous and deep. Brandon nodded, no judgment in the tilt of his head. "The void's a liar, kid. Tells you you're alone. But hell, look around. We're all just trying to patch our tires and keep driving." He clapped Justin's knee lightly under the counter. A fatherly gesture, or so Justin told himself, and stood to dish out bowls of chili. They ate in companionable quiet, the TV flickering with a late-night talk show neither watched. And for the first time in months, Justin felt seen. Not fixed, not pitted, but understood in the bones. As the clock ticked past midnight, Brandon yawned and gestured to the couch. "Crash here. I'll take the recliner." No arguments. Justin protested weakly, but the pull of exhaustion won. Curled under a throw blanket that smelled of home, he listened to Brandon's even breathing from across the room, the rise and fall a rhythm that lulled him into uneasy dreams, of open roads, hands intertwined, and a horizon that didn't swallow you whole. Morning broke gray and forgiving, sunlight filtering through lace curtains like hesitant apologies. Justin woke to the sizzle of bacon and the rich aroma of pancakes. Brandon in the kitchen, humming an off-key American pie. "Rise and shine, sleepyhead," he called, plating a stack that could feed a linebacker. "Can't send you out on an empty stomach. Besides, Alex texted, wants us to catch the game at the bar later." "You in?" Justin rubbed sleep from his eyes, a smile tugging despite the knot in his chest. "Yeah. Sounds good." To the normalcy of it, the invitation into this patchwork family that didn't demand explanations. Over breakfast, Brandon shared stories of his early days as a lawyer, defending kids from broken homes in the city's underbelly, his voice warming with passion. "It's not about winning every case," he said. Fork paused midair. "It's about reminding someone they're worth fighting for." Justin swallowed hard, the words landing like stones in still water. You do that a lot. Make people feel worth it. Their eyes locked, a beat too long, and Justin looked away, heat creeping up his neck. Brandon cleared his throat, busying himself with dishes, but the air hummed with something unspoken, electric as the storm's aftermath. They spent the afternoon wandering the Italian market, Brandon haggling over fresh cannoli while Justin snapped photos on his phone. The vibrant chaos of vendors shouting, old ladies in headscarves doling out advice like candy. Felt like a date without the label, easy laughter bridging the years between them. At the bar that evening, Alex bounded in, all energy and backslaps, oblivious to the undercurrent. Dad, you saved my boy's ass last night? Hero shit right there. Brandon ruffled his son's hair, grinning. Just tires, kid. Justin, here's the one with the real grit. Alex launched into tales of his latest sales pitch at the car dealership. But Justin's focus drifted to Brandon nursing a youngling, the way his laugh lines deepened when he teased his boy. It was a glimpse of the life Justin craved, rooted, real, unapologetic. As the night wore on, beers flowing and the jukebox crooning Garth Brooks, Alex leaned in close to Justin during a lull. Dude, you okay? You seem different. Lighter. Justin forced a nod, the truth too tangled to unravel. Different? Yes. Like a man glimpsing shore after months at sea, terrified and thrilled in equal measure. Driving home, the three of them crammed in the truck, Alex dozing in the back. Brandon caught Justin's eye in the rearview. Good night, he murmured. The best in a long time, Justin whispered back, the words a promise he wasn't sure he could keep. Weeks blurred into a rhythm Justin hadn't known he needed. Late-night texts from Brandon about nothing and everything, from Eagles highlights to quotes from Harper Lee that hit too close to home. To Kill a Mockingbird's got it right, Brandon messaged one Thursday, after a long day in court resurrecting a cold case for a pro bono client. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Justin stared at his phone in the dim glow of his studio apartment, fingers hovering. What if climbing into your skin feels like coming home? He deleted it, sent a thumbs-up emoji instead. Alex noticed the shift. Of course, his best friend since freshman year at Temple, the straight-arrow salesman with a heart as wide as the Delaware. You're hanging with Dad more than me lately. He ribbed over wings at Chickies and Pete's, crab season chaos around them. What's the deal? He boring you with lawyer war stories? Justin laughed it off, dipping a fry in Old Bay. Nah, your old man's got stories that'd curl your hair. Besides, someone's gotta keep him from turning into a hermit. Truth was, their hangouts had become lifelines. Coffee runs to La Colombe where Brandon dissected the city's latest corruption scandal, or walks along the Schuylkill River Trail, leaves crunching underfoot as they traded dreams deferred. Justin confessed his stalled art career over one such stroll, sketchbook tucked under his arm like a shield. Stalled? Bullshit, Brandon said, stopping to light a rare cigarette, the smoke curling like secrets in the crisp air. Your stuff's got soul, Justin. Saw those drawings you did for Alex's birthday card. Raw. Real. Don't let the 9-to-5 grind steal that. He exhaled slowly, eyes on the water glittering under November sun. I did that once. Law school dreams of changing the world. Ended up shuffling papers for the DA. Took losing Sarah to remember why I fight. Justin kicked a pebble into the river, watching ripples spread. How do you not give up when it feels like the world's rigged against you? The words carried the weight of his hidden self. The late-night scrolls through Grindr that led nowhere. The family Thanksgivings where he'd smile through sermons on traditional values. Brandon stubbed out the smoke, turning to face him fully. You fight because giving up means they win, the bigots, the doubters, the voids. And you, Justin, you're a fighter. I see it in the way you show up, day after day. His hand brushed Justin's arm, lingering a fraction too long, and the touch sparked like flint on steel. They walked on, conversation veering to safer ground, but the air between them thickened, charged with possibility. Thanksgiving loomed like a family obligation Justin dreaded. His parents' Amish country farm, all starched collars and sidelong glances. He mentioned it offhand during a pickup basketball game at the rec center. Brandon subbing in for Alex's no-show. Sweaty and breathless on the sidelines, gulping Gatorade, Justin admitted, "Hate going back. Feels like stepping into a time capsule where I'm still the kid hiding comics under the bed." Brandon wiped his brow, jersey clinging to his chest. "Skip it. Come to ours. Alex is bringing his girl, but there's room. Turkey, stuffing, the whole nine. No judgments, just food and football." The invitation was casual, tossed like a pass, but it landed heavy in Justin's chest. He went, arriving with a pumpkin pie from Reading Terminal Market and nerves jangling like loose change. The house buzzed. Alex and his girlfriend, Mia, bickering over pie recipes in the kitchen. Brandon basting the bird, apron tied around his waist like a badge of domestic rebellion. "Get in here, artist," Brandon called, handing him a carving knife. "Earn your keep." Carving turkey side by side, shoulders brushing, Justin felt the domestic pull, a vision of holidays without the hollow ache. Dinner unfolded in laughter. Mia's tales from nursing school, Alex's exaggerated dealership conquests, Brandon's dry toast to absent friends and full plates. Under the table, Brandon's knee nudged Justin's, accidental or not, and stayed there, a silent anchor through the toasts. Later, as dishes clattered and wine loosened tongues, Alex pulled Justin aside on the porch, string lights twinkling overhead. "Glad you came, man. Dad's been happier lately. Says it's your influence. Whatever you're doing, keep it up." Justin's throat tightened, guilt and gratitude twisting like vines. Happier. Because of him? The thought bloomed warm, then withered under the weight of what it meant. That night, snow flurrying soft outside, Justin helped Brandon string lights on the sagging garland. Their fingers tangled on a bulb, and time stuttered. "You're good people, Justin," Brandon murmured, voice low against the winter hush. "Remind me there's still light in the dark, close enough to count the flecks of gray in his stubble." Justin's pulse thundered. He wanted to lean in, to bridge the gap with a kiss that tasted of gravy and grace, but Alex's laugh from inside yanked him back. "I should head out," he said instead, voice rough. Brandon's hand squeezed his shoulder, thumb tracing a slow circle, comfort, or kindling. The drive home was a blur of salted roads and what-ifs. Radio crooning Bruce Springsteen's Thunder Road, a song about escape and electric hearts. Justin pulled over halfway, breath fogging the glass, and texted Brandon, "Thanks for tonight. Felt like family." The reply came swift, "You are. Drive safe." December deepened, Christmas lights draping the city like hopeful veins. Justin's job at the ad agency ramped up, deadlines blurring into insomnia-fueled sketches of a certain strong-jawed man against Philly skylines. He and Brandon fell into a pattern. Texts evolving to calls to stolen hours at dive bars where they'd nurse IPAs and debate Scorsese films. The Departed's got that raw edge, Brandon argued one foggy evening at Dirty Frank's, elbows on the scarred wood. But your art's got the soul he chases. Justin flushed, tracing beer foam. Flattery from a guy who quotes Atticus Finch? Dangerous. Their knees knocked under the table, neither pulling away, the bar's hum fading to a distant roar. Then came the night that cracked the facade. Alex's holiday party at a loft in Fishtown, craft cocktails, indie playlists, 20-somethings spilling secrets. Justin arrived late, fashionably disheveled in a thrifted blazer, scanning for familiar faces. Brandon was there, surprisingly, in chinos and a button-down that hugged his frame, looking every bit the off-duty dad navigating millennial chaos. "You clean up nice," Justin teased, handing him a bourbon neat. Brandon's grin was wolfish. Says the guy who could model for one of those sketches. They clinked glasses, the flirtation bubbling like the fizz in Mia's champagne. As the party pulsed, Daft Punk remixes thumping, bodies swaying, Alex dragged them into a game of kings, cards slapping the coffee table. Rules blurred with shots, laughter escalating until Brandon drew the waterfall, his gaze locking on Justin's as they drank in tandem, throats working in sync. Hours later, the crowd thinned, stragglers crashing on couches. Justin stepped out for air on the fire escape, city lights sprawling below like a promise. Footsteps creaked. Brandon, tie loosened, jacket slung over shoulder. "Too much noise?" he asked, leaning on the railing beside him. "Too much everything." Justin's voice cracked, the bourbon bravery loosening his guard. "You ever feel like you're faking it? Like the world's this big stage, and you're the only one who knows the lines suck?" Brandon turned, the vulnerability in his eyes mirroring Justin's own. "Every damn day. After Sarah. I dated women, sure. Tried to fit the mold. But it was like wearing someone else's skin." He paused, breath visible in the chill. "Truth is, I've been walking around with my own ghosts. Loneliness that doesn't care about labels." Justin's heart seized. "Brandon." The kiss happened before words could warn it off. Brandon's hand cupping his jaw, tentative then fierce, lips tasting of whiskey and want. It was thunderclap sudden, world narrowing to the press of mouths, the scrape of stubble, hands fisting fabric. Justin melted into it, years of hiding dissolving in that shared breath. When they broke apart, foreheads touching, Brandon whispered, "I've wanted that since the rain that night." "Me too," Justin admitted, voice a rasp. "God, me too." They lingered there, tangled in possibility, until Alex's voice echoed from below. "Dad? Justin? You guys bail," shattering the spell. They descended separately, faces flushed, secrets sealed behind casual smiles. But the die was cast, the road ahead forked and fraught. January's bite settled over Philly like a grudge, ice glazing sidewalks and tempers fraying in the post-holiday slump. Justin and Brandon navigated their new terrain with the caution of explorers charting unmarked maps. Stolen moments in coffee shops where their fingers brushed over shared scones. Late-night drives to the Wissahickon Valley where they'd park and talk until stars wheeled overhead. "This feels like a dream I shouldn't wake from," Justin confessed one frost-laced evening, breath clouds mingling as they hiked a trail dusted in snow. Brandon pulled him close, arms a bulwark against the cold. Then let's make it real. No rushing, no regrets, just us figuring it out. Their kisses grew bolder, hidden in the truck's cab or the shadow of his garage, each one a vow etched in heat. But reality gnawed at the edges. Alex's oblivious invitations to group hangs, Justin's family probing calls about settling down, the world's casual cruelties in headlines about rights rolled back. Valentine's crept up sly, a Tuesday marked by red hearts on every corner bodega. Brandon showed at Justin's door after work, bearing takeout from Zahav hummus swirled with olive oil, lamb kebabs fragrant with za'atar, and a sketchpad wrapped in brown paper. Figured you'd rather draw than dine fancy, he said, sheepish grin belying the thought behind it. Inside the cramped apartment, walls papered in half-finished designs, they ate cross-legged on the rug, wine uncorked from a corner store bottle. Justin unwrapped the pad, blank pages thick and promising, a far cry from his dollar store spirals. It's perfect, he murmured, then flipped it open to a quick sketch, their hands intertwined against a Philly skyline, simple lines capturing the quiet power. Brandon traced the page with a fingertip. I soft. That's us. Solid. He drew Justin in then, slow and sure, kisses trailing from lips to collarbone, shirts shed in a heap. It wasn't frenzy but revelation. Bodies mapping each other with reverence, whispers of beautiful and mine against skin. In the afterglow, tangled in sheets that smelled of them, Brandon's head on Justin's chest, the world outside faded to irrelevance. I love you, Justin said into the dark, the words slipping free like a held breath. Brandon lifted his head, thumb stroking Justin's cheek. Love you too, kid. More than I thought I could again. They fell asleep to the distant wail of trolleys, hearts synced in fragile harmony. But harmony's a jealous song, and discord followed swift. Alex cornered Justin at the gym midweek, spotting him on bench presses with unusual intensity. Spill it, man. You've been ghosting our bro nights, and Dad's all zen. Like he's got a secret girlfriend or something. Sweat beaded on Justin's brow, not just from the weights. No secrets, he lied, racking the bar with a clang. Just busy. Agency's killing me. Alex eyed him, towel slung over shoulder. Busy my ass. Mia thinks you're seeing someone, glows different, she says. He punched Justin's arm, playful but probing. Come on. Who is she? We could double. The lie lodged like a bone. Nobody yet. Soon. Maybe. Alex bought it, launching into his own dating woes. But the seed of suspicion took root, twisting Justin's gut. Worse came from Brandon's end. A case unraveling at work. A young client accused of assault in a bar brawl that screamed self-defense to anyone with eyes. Kid's gay, Brandon vented over phone one night, voice edged with fury. Got jumped for holding his boyfriend's hand. Diaz painting him as the aggressor, classic bullshit. Justin listened, rage mirroring his own buried fears, then drove over unannounced, finding Brandon pacing the living room. "I ask you." They collapsed onto the couch, Brandon's head in Justin's lap as he unloaded the day's poison. Makes me sick. How we still gotta fight for scraps of dignity. Justin threaded fingers through his hair, soothing. You're fighting for him. That's everything. Brandon tilted up, eyes fierce. Like I'd fight for you. The kiss that followed was armor and fire, reaffirming in the face of the world's grind. But as Justin left at dawn, slipping out before Alex's morning coffee ritual, he glimpsed the photo on the mantel. Brandon, Sarah, Alex at the shore, arms linked in uncomplicated joy. Guilt slithered in. Was this theft? Or reclamation? Spring teased with early blooms, cherry blossoms dusting Rittenhouse Square like confetti from a half-remembered party. Justin's art gained traction. A local gallery scout spotted his pieces at a pop-up, offering a solo show in June. "This is it," he told Brandon over falafel at Goldie, excitement bubbling. "My break," Brandon beamed, pride lighting his face. "Knew it. We'll celebrate proper. Dinner at Vetri. My treat." The plans solidified their bubble. Weekends away to the Poconos, hiking misty trails hand in hidden hand, lazy Sundays cooking brunch, Brandon's pancakes lopsided but loving. Intimacy deepened, not in passion's blaze but in the quiet sacraments. Brandon tracing Justin's tattoos with lazy fingers, Justin reading poetry aloud from Ginsberg, voices weaving through the lamplight. Yet the bubble thinned. Alex's texts grew pointed. "Yo, where you at? Dad's ditching poker nights too. Y'all plotting a coup." Justin deflected with memes, but paranoia crept. One April evening, post-show prep frenzy. He vented to Brandon at his place. Sketch supplies scattered like battle plans. Alex is sniffing around. What if he finds out? Brandon pulled him onto the couch, legs entwined. "We'll tell him. Together." He's solid, raised him to be, but doubt flickered in his eyes, the lawyer's caution warring with the lover's hope. "Give it time. Till after your exhibit. Focus on that." The exhibit loomed, Justin's nerves a live wire. He poured soul into the canvases, abstracts of urban isolation yielding to connection, blues bleeding into golds, figures reaching through fog. Opening night, the gallery thrummed, art snobs in sleek blacks, critics scribbling notes, flashbulbs popping. Justin circulated in a borrowed suit, heart jackhammering, until Brandon arrived, devastating in slacks and a crisp Oxford, bouquet of sunflowers in hand. "You look like a star," Brandon murmured, kissing his cheek European style for the crowd's sake. They mingled, Brandon charming a collector with tales of Justin's raw authenticity, his hand a ghost at the small of Justin's back. Alex showed too, Mia on arm, clapping Justin's shoulder. "Dude, this is fire. Proud of you." His eyes darted to Brandon. A flicker of something, curiosity? Justin's stomach nodded. As the night peaked, a buyer snapped up the centerpiece, a diptych of shadowed hands clasping under rain-streaked glass. Inspired by a storm, Justin told the woman, glancing at Brandon across the room, their smiles conspiratorial. Champagne flowed, toasts rang, and for a breath, it was perfect. Then, in the alley behind the gallery, buzz fading, Brandon backed Justin against brick, kissing him deep and desperate. "So damn proud. Love seeing you shine." Hands roamed, breaths mingled, until a cough shattered it. Alex, frozen at the mouth of the alley, Mia's gasp echoing. "Dad? Justin." The words hung, accusatory as indictments. Time fractured, Brandon stepping back, face ashen, Justin's world tilting. Alex's eyes, wide with betrayal, fixed on them like spotlights. "What the fuck is this?" Alex's voice cracked, fists clenching. Mia tugged his sleeve, whispering, "Babe, let's go." But he shrugged her off, advancing. My best friend? My dad? How long? Brandon raised hands, placating. Alex. Son, listen. No. Alex whirled on Justin, hurt raw. You lied. Both of you. In my house. At my table. God. Justin. I trusted you. He stormed off, Mia trailing, leaving silence like shrapnel. Justin slid down the wall, tears hot. We should have told him. Brandon knelt, pulling him close, but the embrace felt fractured now. The cost of their hidden joy laid bare. The fallout hit like a nor'easter, winds howling through the fragile seams of their lives. Alex went radio silent, texts unread, calls straight to voicemail, his socials a ghost town of Eagles memes frozen in time. Justin's apartment, once a sanctuary of half-sketches and takeout boxes, echoed with accusation. Every buzz of his phone a phantom hope crushed. Brandon fared no better, his texts a litany of worry. He's at Mia's. Give him space. But space stretched into chasms, and guilt gnawed at Justin like rust on rebar. He threw himself into work, the agency a merciful distraction, pitching bold campaigns for local nonprofits. His art fueled eye-catching what others missed. Colleagues noticed the edge, the way his smiles didn't reach his eyes. Breakup blues? His boss teased over lunch at park, croissants flaking like old paint. Justin shrugged it off, family drama. But the lie tasted bitter, another layer in the onion of deceit. Nights, he wandered Fairmount Park alone, paths lit by sporadic lamps, the Schuylkill a black mirror reflecting his turmoil. I stole his father, the thoughts looped, venomous. Broke the one bond that mattered. But countering it, faint, we found each other in the wreck. Isn't that worth the salvage? He'd text Brandon fragments. Miss your voice, and get back voice notes. Brandon's timbre steadying like an anchor. Hang in, love. We'll fix this. Brandon, meanwhile, balanced on a knife's edge. Court days blurred into strategy sessions for his client's retrial. The young man's face, bruised, defiant, mirroring Alex's imagined pain. At home, the house sagged under absence. Alex's room untouched, baseball glove on the dresser a relic. Brandon cleaned obsessively, scrubbing counters till his hands chapped, as if order could staunch the bleed. One evening, post-verdict win, acquittal, hard-fought, he drove to Justin's unannounced, rain sheeting the windshield like tears deferred. Justin opened the door, hollow-cheeked in sweats, and Brandon pulled him into a fierce hug, door clicking shut behind. Brought sustenance, he said, holding up a paper bag from Federal Donuts, hot fresh, cinnamon sugar dusted. They ate on the fire escape, city hum below, the sweetness clashing with salt on their tongues. Talked to a mutual buddy today, Brandon ventured, licking sugar from his thumb. Alex is processing. Mia says he's drinking too much, skipping work. His voice cracked on the last, paternal fear raw. Justin set his donut aside, hand finding Brandon's. We can't undo it. But we can own it, he squeezed, resolve flickering. Let me reach out. As your friend first. The call to Alex came the next day. Voicemail again. Hey, man. It's me. I know I fucked up hiding, lying by omission. You're right to be pissed. But your dad. He's the best man I know. And what we have, it's real. Call me when you're ready to yell or cry. or whatever. Love you, bro. He hit send. Heart a stone. Response trickled in fragments. A curt text, not now. Then radio static. Brandon's cases piled. A divorce mediation turning ugly with custody barbs that echoed his own fractures. Client's ex is using the kid's lifestyle against him. He vented over a subdued dinner at Morimoto. Sushi pristine on chilled plates. Says it's unfit. Like love's a crime. Justin reached across, thumb stroking his knuckles. You're his shield. Like you're mine. Their intimacy shifted. Tender amid the tempest. Nights where they'd lie spooned. Brandon's breath warm on Justin's neck. Hands tracing scars both visible and not. Remember the flat tire? Brandon whispered one such eve. Fingers interlacing. Felt like fate then. Still do. Justin turned, kissing him slow. Fate with flat spots. We'll patch him. May bloomed defiant. Dogwoods flaming pink against slate skies. Justin's post-exhibit buzz sustained. A commission from a queer youth center for murals depicting resilience. Bold strokes of figures emerging from shadows. He worked late, paints streaking his arms like war paint. Brandon dropping by with subs from John's roast pork. Watching from a stool with quiet awe. You're building worlds, he'd say, softening the lines of exhaustion. But Alex's silence festered, infection setting in. A chance encounter at the reading viaduct, Justin sketching urban decay. Alex jogging past in headphones ended in standoff. Alex yanked buds out, face thunderous. You happy? Screwing my life up. Justin stood, charcoal smudging his jeans. Not screwing. Loving. Your dad deserves joy. Alex. After everything. Alex's laugh barked. Bitter. Joy? By stabbing me in the back? He's all I had after Mom. Now it's this. He gestured wildly, eyes glistening. Fucking gay? With you? It's wrong. The word landed like a slap, wrong. Echoing every slur Justin had swallowed. Love isn't wrong. Hiding it is. He stepped closer, voice steady. Hate me. But don't punish him. Alex deflated, shoulders slumping. I don't hate you. Just hurts. Feels like betrayal. He rubbed his eyes, young and wrecked. Gimme time. He jogged off, but slower, the rift cracking open to light. That night, Justin unloaded to Brandon over whiskey at the living room bar, Jazz murmuring low. He said wrong, like we're diseased. Brandon's jaw tightened, glass clinking hard. He's scared, lashing out. Raised in a bubble mom's church. My long hours. Didn't know how to tell him my truths till now. They walked home arm in arm through drizzle. Defiance in the link. We'll show him, Brandon vowed. Not by force, but by living true. June sweltered, humidity thick as unspoken fears. The mural unveiling drew a crowd, teens with rainbow pins, parents clutching programs, city councilors posing for pics. Justin's work loomed vibrant, fists unclenching to open palms, colors bleeding from gray to prism. Brandon stood front row, Alex beside him, uninvited but present, arms crossed, expression guarded. As applause faded, Alex approached Justin, voice low. This is powerful. For kids like that client of Dad's. Justin nodded, throat tight. For all of us. Alex glanced at Brandon, then back. Saw him cry after the verdict. First time since Mom. You make him whole. A pause. Heavy. Doesn't mean I'm cool with it yet. But try. The olive branch trembled, but it held. They hugged awkward, back slapped, the first thaw. Brandon joined, enveloping them both, a knot of flawed family reforging. Yet betrayal's shadow lingered, darker than suspected. One muggy night, Brandon's phone lit with a call from an unknown, his ex-colleague, tipsy at a reunion. Heard about you and the kid. The voice slurred, recorded accidentally on speaker as Justin prepped dinner. Bold move, Bran. Alex know his old man's playing for the other team now? Careful, could cost you that promotion. Justin's blood iced. Promotion. Brandon had mentioned nothing, too buried in their bubble. Later, confronted gently over cooling pasta, Brandon sighed. It's nothing. Internal. Didn't want to jinx, but his eyes dodged. And Justin pressed, or didn't want to worry me? The argument simmered low, trust frayed, words like hiding ricocheting. I'm protecting us, Brandon insisted. You, the show, Alex's fragile piece. Justin recoiled. By keeping secrets, that's how we got here. Doors slammed, not literal but seismic. Justin crashed at a friend's, sketching furiously into dawn, portraits of fractured faces, love's cost in stark lines. Days blurred, polite texts, avoided eyes at Alex's birthday barbecue, where forced smiles masked the quake. Reconciliation came halting, over beers at McGillen's, oldest pub in the city. I fucked up, Brandon admitted, foam clinging to his mustache. Scared of losing ground when we're just gaining it, Justin leaned in, forgiving in the tilt. No more islands. We're a continent. They rebuilt, brick by vulnerable brick, couples counseling with a queer therapist in Center City, sessions dissecting fears like evidence in court. Alex joined once, tentative, his I'm trying a mantra. Summer ripened, fireflies dancing in backyards, and their love, tempered by fire, glowed steadier. But storms brew unseen, and betrayal's second strike brewed from within. Autumn's palette returned, leaves carpeting Fairmount in golds and crimsons, a fleeting beauty masking the rot beneath. Justin and Brandon's rhythm steadied. Mornings tangled in sheets, evenings walking the art museum steps, hands brushing in coded affection. Alex thawed incrementally. A group hike to the Pine Barrens where he ribbed them lightly. Don't go all mushy on me. You 2-inch, his laughter a bridge half-built. Progress, fragile as frost. Justin's career ascended. The mural led to freelance gigs, his portfolio blooming online, shares from influencers in the queer art scene. You're unstoppable, Brandon marveled, framing a print for his office, an abstract of intertwined roots, symbol of their graft. But success amplified scrutiny. A local paper profile on Philly's rising gay artist, photo of Justin at his easel, caption nodding to personal inspirations. The piece was kind, but it rippled texts from old Lancaster friends. Awkward. A call from his mother, voice quavering. Saw the article, son. Praying for you. He brushed it off to Brandon over dinner at Pumpkin. Butternut squash ravioli steaming. Families adjusting. Slowly, Brandon nodded, but his fork paused. Mine too. Alex mentioned a work thing, coworker asking about the boyfriend. He's fielding for me now. Pride swelled, but so did unease. Exposure's double edge cut deep in a city where progress marched uneven. The betrayal erupted on a crisp October Saturday. Tailgate season in full roar. Brandon's firm hosted a client schmooze at the link. Sweet tickets to a Birds game. Craft brews flowing. "Come as my +1, he'd urged Justin earlier. Eyes twinkling. "Proud to show you off," Justin demurred. "Keep it low-key for Alex's sake," but relented when Brandon pouted playfully. "Fine. But if they grill me on tax law, I'm out." The suite buzzed. Power suits mingling. Wives in team scarves. Kids darting with foam fingers. Brandon introduced Justin seamlessly. "My partner, Justin Hale. The talent behind those murals you saw downtown." His hand firm at Justin's waist. Acclaim staked public. Colleagues toasted. Impressed. A senior partner clapped Brandon's back. "Good on you, Walsh. About time you settled with someone solid." Justin flushed, basking in the normalcy, until Alex arrived, invited separately, oblivious till then. He froze in the doorway, beer in hand, eyes darting from intertwined fingers to congratulatory nods. "Partner." The word dropped like a gauntlet, sweet chatter dipping. Brandon stepped forward, conciliatory. "Son, yeah. Wanted to tell you proper. But," Alex's face twisted, not with shock but fury honed sharp. "Proper? After I covered for you? Told my boss it's cool. Dad's happy. When he asked why you bailed on the firm picnic," he advanced, voice rising over the crowd's murmur. "I lied for you. Said it was casual. Nothing serious. Kept your secret so you wouldn't tank that promotion you're chasing." Justin's stomach plummeted. "Promotion again." Brandon paled. "Alex." "What?" "Your boy here." Alex jabbed a finger at a slick associate nursing a scotch. "Overheard at the bar last month. Texted me anonymous. Your dad's playing house? Gonna queer the firm's image?" I shut it down. Told him to fuck off. "But you? Parading now?" After I played shield. Betrayal laced his tone. Not just hurt but weaponized, the son who'd borne the brunt. Unseen. The suite hushed. Eyes averted politely. Brandon reached for him. "I didn't know." "God. Kid. I'm sorry." But Alex recoiled. Beer sloshing. "Sorry? You're climbing on my back. Both of you." Justin knew, saw the texts. Played dumb. He whirled on Justin. Accusation burning. "You let me think we were good. Family. Then this." Justin stammered. "Alex. We thought wrong." He stormed out, door banging, leaving the air acrid with unfinished sentences. The party limped on, forced jollity, but Brandon and Justin fled at halftime, cab ride silent as judgment. Home was a battlefield, Brandon pacing, Justin curled on the couch, tears silent. "He thinks we're using him," Justin whispered, voice breaking. "And maybe we did." Hiding till it suited. Brandon knelt, hands on knees. "No. We loved through the mess. But yeah." I leaned on him. Coward move. Exhaustion etched his face. The strong man fraying. They clung that night, sleep evading, the bed a raft in turmoil. Alex's vanishing act intensified. No shows at work. Mia's texts frantic. He's spiraling. Blaming himself for enabling. Justin's art stalled. Brushes idle. Brandon's cases suffered. Focus splintered. Emotion denied in court, drawing stern words from the bench. Holidays loomed. Thanksgiving a minefield. But they hosted anyway, small. Just the three. Tension thick as gravy. Alex came, hollow-eyed, plate barely touched. Talk skirted edges. Weather, work, the birds losing streak. Then, clearing dishes, he cornered Brandon in the kitchen. "Why'd you need me to lie? Afraid it'd cost you the corner office." Brandon set the sink running, voice low. "Scared it'd cost us." The firm old school whispers about lifestyle clauses in partnerships. "Thought protecting you meant protecting your ass." Alex's laugh was hollow. "I get it, that love's messy. But dragging Justin in, making me the fall guy, that's not protection. That's selfish." The words eviscerated, Brandon slumping against the counter. Justin hovered in the doorway, unseen witness, heart aching for the boyman torn. Later, as Alex left early, "Need air," he hugged Justin stiffly. "Doesn't mean I hate you. Just tired." Winter gripped hard, blizzards blanketing the city in white isolation. Justin and Brandon weathered it coupled, therapy twice weekly, walks in the Liberty Lands where snow muffled confessions. "I betrayed him first," Brandon admitted one powder day, mittens clasping. "By not coming out sooner." "He carried my silence." Justin nodded, snowflakes melting on lashes. "We all did. Time to carry him now." They reached out, care packages to Alex's apartment, his favorite hoagies, a mixtape of Springsteen tracks from childhood. Mia mediated, updates piecemeal, he's job hunting, talking therapy. Hates us, loves us, rinse repeat. Climax crested in February, a nor'easter raging, power flickering. Alex called Brandon at midnight, slurred, stranded, car spun out on the Schuylkill Expressway. "Dad. Can't. Cold." Panic surged. Brandon flew out, Justin shotgun, wipers battling the gale. They found him huddled by guardrail, lips blue, eyes wild with more than weather. In the truck's warmth, blankets piled, Alex shivered out truths. Went to a bar. Drove after shots. Stupid. Thought, if I crashed, it'd end the noise. Sob choked him. "You too happy. I want that. But it stole mine." Brandon held him fierce, tears tracking. "Nothing steals you from me, son. Ever." Justin drove, silent sentinel, as they spilled home hot cocoa laced with whiskey, confessions unspooling by firelight. "I lied to protect my climb," Brandon owned. "Quit the rat race tomorrow if it mends us." Alex wiped nose on sleeve. "Don't quit. Just be real. All in." His gaze shifted to Justin, softening. "You too. No more half measures." Dawn broke clear, snow-glazed world reborn. They talked till exhaustion claimed, a triad mending, forgiveness not instant, but incremental, like dawn's creep. Spring 2026 whispered renewal, but scars lingered, humanism in the healing. Justin's next show themed fractures, canvases of broken lines reforming, sold out, critics praising the tender grit. Alex attended, arm around Mia, applauding loudest. "Brought the family," he joked after, hugging Justin tight. Brandon proposed quietly that summer, on the highway shoulder where it began, no ring, just hands clasped, rain pattering tentative. "Marry me? Not for show. For us." Justin's yes was a vow, sealed in salt and storm. Yet no arc bends without shadow. the humanistic close tempered by truth's quiet ache. Marriage planning unfolded gently. A small ceremony at Longwood Gardens, conservatory blooming defiant against autumn chill. Invites went broad. Justin's parents, tentative but present. His father's handshake firm. Proud. Son. Took guts. Alex as best man. Speech laced with humor. From flat tires to this, Dad? You traded wrenches for heartstrings. Justin. Thanks for the fix. The day shimmered. Vows exchanged under glass dome. Petals drifting like blessings. Vows. Brandon steady. In loneliness. You found me. In love. I'll never lose you. Justin's tear-choked. You saw my hidden roads. Walked them with me. Forever's our highway. Ring simple. Steel bands etched with tire treads. Nod to origins. Reception hummed familial. Mia's toast to found family. Dances to Wonderwall, where Alex spun Justin clumsy. Night ended in the truck. Driving winding back roads. Hands linked over console. Husband. Brandon tested. Grin boyish. Justin laughed. Free. Husband. Life post-vow settled into textured normalcy. Brandon made partner. Not without whispers, but his record silenced them. He mentored queer interns, firm evolving under his nudge. Justin's studio thrived. Commissions flowing, murals for shelters, book covers for coming-out memoirs. Alex proposed to Mia that Christmas. Ring funded by his new gig at a startup. Their wedding a mirror of joy. But betrayal's echo lingered, a scar not fully faded. Alex's therapy unearthed resentments. Felt like the third wheel in my own life. Sessions joint. They unpacked, nights of board games turning confessional. Laughs healing old wounds. You didn't break us, Alex told Brandon one beer-soaked eve. You rebuilt. Justin's family mended slow. Holidays in Lancaster, where his mother's pie came with sidelong smiles. His sister's kids calling him Uncle Jay. No sermons, just acceptance's quiet bloom. Broader world intruded, news cycles churning on rights. Protests Justin joined. Brandon funding bail for arrested allies. Fight smart, Brandon cautioned, but marched beside when needed. One anniversary, they returned to the highway pull-off. Civic long traded for the truck. Rain fell soft, wipers swishing memory. Flat tire saved me, Justin said, head on Brandon's shoulder. From myself, Brandon kissed his temple. Nah. You saved us. They drove into dusk. Radio crooning petty again. Loneliness a distant rearview shadow. Years layered. Alex's twins born. Chubby-fisted demands on Grandpa Brandon, who bounced them to Eagles' chants. Justin's gallery in Old City. Walls alive with stories. Challenges came. Health scares, Brandon's knee. Surgery under halogens. Career dips, Justin's exhibit panned. Rebound stronger. But love's root held, deepened by trials. In quiet moments, Justin sketched them. Silver threading Brandon's hair. Laugh lines etched permanent. Our story, he'd say. Pencil whispering. Not fairy tale, but American gospel flawed. Fierce. Human. Betrayal's sting dulled to lesson. Love demands truth. Costs dearly. Repays in grace. On a crisp fall day, a decade on, they stood at Sarah's grave, Alex beside with kids in tow. She'd love this, Brandon murmured, arm around Justin. Wildflowers nodded, wind carrying sea salt from her Jersey shore. Alex squeezed his shoulder. She does. They walked out together, hands linked in light, a family forged in rain, mended in resolve. The road ahead curved unknown, but they drove it unafraid, tires humming home. Epilogue whispered in the rear view. Loneliness hides, but understanding finds. In America's vast heart, two men, and the sun who bridged them, proved love's patch holds, if you steer true.